Hello, leaders. So, do you have conflict within your team or organization? Well, for most of you listening, I know the answer to that question is a big time yes. And conflict can really kill your productivity like nothing else. It can stop your team in its tracks. And if you don't face it head on, it's just going to keep coming back over and over and over again with a vengeance. Well, today we're going to talk about how you can minimize your negative conflict so you can boost your overall productivity. Welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. If you're new to this show, this is the daily leadership show that's designed specifically for mid-level leaders and team leaders. Every week I discuss a different leadership challenge and offer you encouraging tips to help you and your team run to your challenges. Hey, don't forget to download your free guide, Combating Low Productivity, at runtoyourchallenges.com. You can find it in the podcast tab. This guide will help you and your team follow along all week and take notes. Okay, let's talk about this week's challenge of combating low productivity by minimizing your negative conflict. Well, call me crazy if you want to, but conflict is one of my favorite things to help teams with. I just can't help it. I just love minimizing conflict and helping teams through it. And actually, that's how I came up with my tagline for my business, Run to Your Challenges, and the name of this podcast, Alexa Brief, Run to Your Leadership Challenges. I wholeheartedly believe that if you don't avoid negative conflict, man, you're digging a big hole for your team and your organization. So let's talk about a few simple tips that'll help you out. Now, the most important step with all conflict is you need to get to the root cause of the conflict. Don't even think about trying to resolve your conflict by simple actions that alleviate the situation temporarily. Don't just put a Band-Aid fix on the conflict. Because you know what? Band-Aids fall off, and if you do a temporary fix, the conflict will come right back. Dive in and get dirty. Get to the root cause of the conflict. This is the most important step because if you don't get to the root cause, it'll just keep coming back, like I said earlier. Spend the time peeling the onion back on that conflict until it really stinks, and then start diagnosing how you can fix it. This is where you need to get everyone who's involved in the conflict to help out. Have a brainstorming session because everyone needs to be satisfied with the outcome or it'll just continue to fester. Now, I mentioned on episode 177 earlier in the week about addressing team members who are focused on themselves instead of the team. Man, this can cause a lot of conflict, especially with your team members who are dedicated and committed to organizational goals. One way to handle this is to explain how company and team goals are aligned with their personal goals. Spend time getting to know all of your team members' goals and aspirations, and then help each other achieve them. This can be a big-time team effort where everyone ends up winning in the end, including the organization. The closer your team gets and the more your team works together, the more they're going to want to get through conflict quickly because ultimately they will begin to understand that when there is conflict, productivity goes down and the odds of them achieving their individual goals drop as well. Everyone now has something at stake and they will work to eliminate your conflict. Another point that I want to make when it comes to conflict is to not eliminate your positive conflict. Some of your team members may actually enjoy a little conflict with each other, kind of like me, where I kind of enjoy stirring this pot a little bit. And if you recognize that your team members are working through the conflict, let them handle it. Don't step in all the time to help them resolve their conflict. They need to learn to work their way through it without you. That's a true sign of good leadership. This helps them learn how to deal with the negative conflict when it rises. Finally, don't avoid negative conflict. I mean, ever. Address it head on. Run to it. Because the quicker your team gets through it, the quicker you get back on track and your productivity will rise. Okay, that's a wrap for today. And hey, don't forget to pick up your free guide, Combating Low Productivity, at runtoyourchallenges.com. Also, please share this show with other leaders in your organization so you can all run to your leadership challenges together. As always, thanks for listening, and until tomorrow, run to your challenges.